Allergies. Fuck. I got my coffee though. Not too much, just a little bit. I need to wake up. I got a bunch of shit I gotta do today. Gotta clean the floors, clean up the backyard a little, water all the plants, rake the leaves out front, change the AC filter. Something crazy happened. So about 2 years ago, there was this excessive downpour of rain that came out of nowhere. Surprising shocker in the middle of the, not the middle, but like the start of summer. This was 2 years ago. And we took a walk after this downpour. And we heard toads galore. Toads, 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 toads. And we went to go investigate this little ravine. A lot of toads mating. We saw like a dozen, 20 toads, somewhere around there. Ton of toads. They were obviously breeding, laying tadpoles in the little creek bed area. And I saw that. I was like, oh, we should probably like come back in a day or two and collect these little guys. Maybe we can raise a few of them. And then we'll release them once they turn into little toadlets. And they're too much for me to deal with because that's a lot of goddamn... that could easily be like 100 or a couple hundred little toadlet guys. I can't take care of that many. I'm too busy. And it's not like they're endangered, really. This type of toad is pretty common. And it's common for a reason. It's because us dickhead humans aren't good at wiping it out. It's a type of toad that... It's a Gulf Coast toad, I think is what it's called. There's a lot that are just like it. This type of toad can basically go underground and stay there forever without having to emerge to get water or food because its body is made in a way that it is able to sustain itself over long fucking periods of time without much food or water. So, they got it going on. So anyway, I raised the tadpoles in the tank because I came back the next day to collect them with a little net and a bucket. And we collected a bunch of them. And then we came back the very next day, completely dried up. That's how bad the rain is. Completely dried up. So the rest of the, I don't know, 100,000 tadpoles that were there, they're all dead. They're all dead, man. Every fucking tadpole laid that night in that ravine. Pointless. Completely pointless. The toads wasted their time. Shouldn't have had their kids there. But hey, they don't know any better. Are you kidding me? In a sound world, where we don't climate change the fuck out of this place, there would have been enough rain, probably. But now there really isn't. We're turning the world into shit. Sucks, dude. Anyway, I was able to save a few of those guys. Brought them back, set up a tank. And here's the key with tadpoles. You want to clean the water regularly. Do water changes, which is you remove about half the water and then you put in a new half of water. You just kind of do that 2 to 3 times, not 3 times, 1 to 2 times a week, depending on how many you have, depending on how dirty they dirty up the tank, depending on your tank size. I used a 10-gallon tank. We put leaf matter in the tank. Sprinkle some leaves on top of the water. It'll sink down and fall to the bottom. Tadpoles love that shit. The natural oils and tannins that come off of the leaf matter makes the water more stress-free, more suitable. They like that shit more. It's more natural. It's what they grew up evolving in. Say you want to replicate that kind of environment. Don't put a fucking filter on there like an asshole. A filter will suck the tadpoles in. They're very tiny and pliable. They will get sucked up into the filter and die. And clog your filter with a bunch of tadpole corpses. Is that what you want? No. That's fucked up and disgusting. Don't do it. It's an L move. A lot of people think it'll be okay. It's not. Don't do it. Don't be lazy. You're going to have to change that water manually, okay? Get a siphon. Suck up the water that's dirty. Try not to suck up any tadpoles in the process. It can be a little tricky, but you can do it. Maybe wrap a little fine mesh around the end of your siphon. Prevent the tadpoles from getting sucked up. And just do it like that. Also, another reason you don't want a filter is because it makes the water a little turbulent. And these animals do not like stress. They want a chill, very still a body of water to exist in. If they're going to move around and eat something or do anything, it's going to be on their terms. They really don't like being pushed around. And can you blame them? They're tiny little buddies. Anyway, the tadpoles, they all started morphing, started turning into little toadlets. And I released them all into the creek bed. Not that creek bed, a different one. To be honest, most of them probably died. That's just the sad reality of nature. But I bet you a few of them did make it. But anyway, the entire reason I'm talking about this is there was one little tadpole, who did not morph with his brothers and sisters, or her brothers and sisters. I don't know what it is. I think it's a guy. It's not very big. Females tend to get bigger. But anyway, it morphed late as fuck. Like, I got rid of all of them, except for this one, who's still a tadpole for the longest time. He eventually started morphing close to a month after everybody else. So I thought something's wrong with this frog, this little toad guy. Something's wrong with him. He's fucked up. He morphs into a toad, and he's this little guy. He's definitely smaller than the average toadlet. Something's wrong with him. He's like genetically inferior somehow. Something happened with his genetics, you know. You know how like a person can be born deformed, missing fingers, you know, whatever. Maybe it was inbreeding. Maybe it was she smoked fucking tobacco cigarettes. Maybe it's just bad luck, you know. Who knows? It happens sometimes. Anyway, it happened in this group. This was the runt of the litter. This little tadpole. Something was wrong with him for sure. He had little T-Rex arm. That's right. His arm didn't look right. It's a little smaller and deformed. Other than that, he seemed alright. So I kept him in the tank. And this tank was a 10-gallon tank, not very big. He started getting bigger. And I was like, I know. I'm going to put him in one of my big-ass derelict tanks that I'm not using. Because I had this big tank set up with this big idea for dart frogs, but then I ended up not going with this idea. So I have this big tank that I'm not using, and here's this poor little toad, and I figured this big tank would be perfect for him. I would barely have to lift a finger to take care of him, and he has all this space, and it would be good for him. And I didn't feel like releasing him into the wild because he's deformed. He's got a fucked up, weak little arm. That might result in him not being able to escape predators efficiently and get killed somehow. That would be fucking lame. I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm trying to do my best here. So I take this toad guy and I put him in that big tank, right? And remember, this is like 2 years ago. And in this tank, the toad remained ever since. Over time, the toad, remember, this is a Gulf Coast, Texas toad, so this toad is going to dig down and stay underground for months. Months and months and months and months and months and not do anything. So I would often never see this toad. Never. And for the longest time, I didn't see this toad. And then I got a bunch of green toadlets at one point later, and they're pretty cool. And I was going to put them in that big tank. Because I assumed that little toad died of natural causes. Because I never saw the motherfucker for like 2 years. I would look, I would give him water, little water bowls, keep the soil moist, and you know, put in bugs from every now and then. Turkish roaches, Turkish red runners. That's what I breed. The roaches for the food for a lot of these animals. Oh, that's right. I got to round up roaches for the turtles outside. That's another thing I got to do today. Okay, so anyway, just the other day, like 2 days ago, I walked by the tank and I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? There's a giant toad sitting out, and I'm like, what? I thought you were fucking dead. I literally thought this toad was dead. I couldn't find this fucking toad for the longest time. That was wild. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, that bastard has been just existing, and he looks fine. He's perfectly fine and healthy. He's got the weird looking arm still, but yeah, that toad is... wow. So that's the story of my magic toad that survived 2 years without me doing anything, basically. Like, seriously, I barely lifted a finger. Like I said, I kept the soil moist. Not even all the time, like from time to time. Like, there would be stretches where I'd be like, oh, it's looking a little dry. I should add a little water. Like, I did not keep up with it very good. I assumed the motherfucker was dead. Couldn't find him, and like I said, he was deformed and weird. Figured he just didn't make it. Wrong. No. It's been just existing how they do in the wild for the most part. It's hiding underground. And that's what these things do. A lot of toad species, I think most actually, just they know how to coexist underground, like extremely efficiently. They'll dig down, they'll find a spot, they'll just chill there for forever. It's what they do. A toad has a weird body where they don't have to eat all the time. They absorb a lot of hydration through their skin, so they're able to stay in a cool, damp, wet location, and they don't need water. They have it. Very strange creature. Very cool that it's able to do that. I mean, you put me in a hole, I'm dead of dehydration and pretty soon. You know, like a day or two, right? I think they said the longest people can last without water is like 4 days, and that's if they had a big gulp beforehand. Like if you were already thirsty, oh boy, you're done for. But yeah, toad, shit, practically invincible while standing still underground. Toads are interesting. A lot of weird amphibious creatures can do stuff like that. Animals are interesting, man. Take care of animals. Don't be a dick to animals. People who are assholes to animals are the worst people in the world. They have zero empathy, you know? Because I can understand not having empathy for your humankind. We're shitheads. You know? We do a lot of stupid, horrible, monkey shit. Us humans are annoying and shitty. Most of us. Even some of the better humans, you know? Some of the more decent people are still kind of like... You still kind of suck. So I get it. I get hating on humans, but hating on animals, I don't get that. You're just a cruel piece of shit if that's you. The animals got no beef with us, dude. They're not constantly sitting around thinking about how they can eat us and kill us, enslave us, and do all that shit. Guess what, though? We, us humans, most of us, we do think like that. We're fucking assholes. So it'd be nice to see more people adopt a mindset where they leave the animals the fuck alone. Us human beings, we really did enter into this world as just ape-like creatures who are supposed to eat nuts and berries off the ground, off the bushes, on the ground. That's it. That's all we were fucking meant to do. And now look at us. Ravage the whole countryside, the whole world. Turn the oceans brown. Turn the coral reefs, these beautiful, multicolored, weird-looking things under the sea, all brown and gray and dull-looking. Yay! Good job, humans. We really fucked this planet. And it's only gonna get worse. Sucks, dude. And we're not even like good at finding a happy balance. We're not even good at doing that whole, okay, we'll create a bunch of products that do pollute, yes, but we won't do that much. So at least a lot of species will survive. No, we're not even doing that. We're just like, fuck them all. Fuck them all. Then, like, we suck, dude. Can't even be somewhat reasonable. Nope, gotta be assholes. But anyways, what am I doing here? Oh, my back hurts. I don't know what I did yesterday. Oh, sucks. I fucked up at work. I undercharged a dude, I think. God damn it. That was a fuck up on my part. It happens. I didn't undercharge him by that much, but yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. At least there wasn't. At least the job wasn't like a giant pain in the ass. So, and at least the guy was cool. Like, whenever I have customers and they're just like super agreeable. Oh yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, sure. That looks good. Yeah. Then I'm just like, this is the coolest customer ever. But if I get one of those customers just like, I don't like it, can you change the color? I know I picked the color because I'm a fucking idiot, but I don't like it. So can I change the color to this? And then I do and make the sample and I work my ass off to do what they said. And then they come back around, oh, actually, I don't like it either. And like, I've literally had customers that have me make up like 5, 6, fucking 7 goddamn fucking samples. These bitches can't make up their fucking mind. These indecisive cunts. I hope they fucking die. And that's how I feel about those kind of people. Like, at a point, it stops becoming about the money, and it starts becoming about my level of patience for dealing with your pain in the ass. But that's my job. I feel for my brother, because he talks to these people more than I do, and he definitely gets frustrated. It's like, this guy's being a fucking idiot. This guy's being a pain in my ass. Yeah, Tom, can't blame you. Some of these people are fucking stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They come into the shop, they think they know everything, they got this plan in their head, and they don't actually know how this stuff works, and you gotta kind of help them along, and then maybe it turns out this isn't something they want to do. In which case they can fuck right off. They didn't think it through. Yeah, that's what sucks about my job. It's kind of for smarter people. So if your customer's an idiot, it's kind of hard to work with those morons. They freak out too easily. People just don't know what embroidery and monogramming is sometimes. A lot of people think it's screen printing where you do painted on letters. No, dude, that's not what that is. Some people think it's like engravings, like dog tags. No, dude, that's not what it is. Some people think it's like fucking stickers or patches. No, that is something else, motherfucker. It can be frustrating sometimes. Yep, the job's a job, that's for sure. A lot of work. But it pays good, which is why I have all these guitars and games and these crazy exotic animals. I've been doing this shit for over 10 years now, yeah. Since 2014 we got the shop. And it's worked out pretty good. Everything is going, I guess, about as good as it could. I'm basically my own boss. The customers are my bosses, basically. Fuckers. That and my lazy bitch of a landlord. It's fucking useless. But can kick me out whenever she fucking wants. Good thing she can't hear me now talking shit about her. Stupid bitch. I'm such an asshole. But she sucks, dude. We've had so many crises where she was just fucking straight up useless. Yeah, there was this one time where the shop next door was doing some kind of floor remodeling crap, And the guy they hired was a fucking idiot, and he coated the whole ground floor area in naphtha, some kind of chemical stuff, and it started giving off this like cancerous odor that was seeping into the other nearby shops, making the environment completely toxic to coexist in. And yeah, it was making people's eyes like red, and they couldn't breathe good. And I was like, yeah, this is unbearable. We can't even be at work today because of this shit. So we called the landlord, that bitch. Hey, what the fuck? Why they shouldn't be allowed to do this? This is making it toxic to work. Everything smells like magic marker up in this bitch. And she doesn't respond. So we call the fire department. Because what are you supposed to do? It's toxic fucking odors seeping out here. It's not healthy. We need to shut this down. Do something about this. Fire department shows up. They can't get in. The guy locked the fucking building that he did this chemical treatment to. So they bust out bolt cutters and they break the lock off the goddamn door and get in there and start airing it out and whatnot. Everyone loves firefighters. Nobody loves pigs. I think that's funny. So the firefighters do the right thing. And then my landlord, this bitch, gets up at 1 in the afternoon. Must be nice. Must be nice. And then she responds to all of our texts and emails and phone calls. Because it's not just me. Everybody in the fucking building complex is trying to get a hold of her. Hey, you're the landlord. Here's a problem. We can't run our businesses when, toxic fucking gas is everywhere. Just saying. She finally responds and is like, oh my god, this is terrible. Oh. Like, yeah, welcome to the party, bitch. Fucking late. Always late. We've had roof leaks that she's always failed to properly address, We've had weird criminal types vandalize the post box outside, So, really not on top of a lot of this crap. So she sucks, dude. And then she does that shit from time to time. She just checks in on us, every few months. Just checking on you. Get out of here. You're creeping me out. So, yeah, she's useless. But she could terminate my contract and kick me out if she really wanted to. Before it's renewed. So, I'm a slave to her, unfortunately. That's how that goes. So even though I'm my own boss at work, still not my full-on own boss. And in capitalism, you're always going to have a boss. Except for, I guess, Leon, right? He's king of the world, rich, billionaire, top dog, right? Even though you look at the reality of the situation, and that guy just wants to be loved and liked and respected by everybody, and no one's ever gonna do that for you, man. You're too much of a fucking loser. Like, I'm sorry, man. You may be a rich billionaire guy, but you act like an incel. You act like a beta, a simp, a fucking pussy-ass bitch. You sit there and you tweet on Twitter all day. You don't do anything with your life. You're not good at anything. You don't have skills, dude. You tried to brag that you were good at games and stuff. I'm good at games, bitch. And for about 20 fucking years now, I've known that you're a fucking joke. Well, actually, I've only been aware of your existence for about 10 years now, honestly. Noticeably so. Maybe I saw you once before in a magazine or something, but it was around the time that Overwatch came out, and I ran into this fucking child who told me, no, it's actually a good game. So what that it doesn't have single player, or, so what that it has microtransactions and it's online only and all this other horrible shit that objectively makes a shitty game. Like, the guy was like, Elon loves it, so that's why it's good. And I was like, who is this fucking idiot that he's talking about? And that's when I started to learn about this dumb shit. And I was absolutely correct about him. That just goes to show how smart I am. Able to tell a fucking moron before I even fucking actually see said moron. And yeah, so I look at this guy and I'm just like, he's probably evil, right? He's super rich. He's Probably donated a lot of money to fucking nasty causes in some pathetic attempt to make himself look charitable when he's actually a monster. You know, Bill Gates does the same thing, right? Lots of politicians do the same thing. We're doing a fundraiser to help starving children or something. Oh, that's great. It's all just a cover to make them look better so that they can bomb kids overseas or some shit. Or put people in cages on the border. You know how it is. Typical scummy politician shit. You know? With one hand, they show you a gold bar, and you're like, ooh, that's shiny. That's cool looking. And in the other hand, they're stabbing a baby to death. And you're not noticing because they're distracting you with the shiny gold bar. That's the kind of shit that they do. The Democrats are really all about it. The Republicans are more in your face about how evil they're going to be. they're not as good at pretending. They're not as smart and clever and devious. So that's what sucks. The Dems are definitely smarter, so you want them to be in charge more because they're smarter. But what do they do with their smarts? Evil shit. So you don't want them in power. Yeah. So maybe you want the reps in power because they're fucking stupid. And they'll fumble whatever evil thing they're trying to do. And that kind of happens. So, yeah, isn't this terrible? Picking your poison between reps and Dems is just a fucking nightmare. And now I'm sounding like a dumbass centrist cuck. Because, yeah, both parties are fucking horrifying, man. It's true. Not to sound like a centrist, but I gotta sound like a centrist on this one. We just saw the Democrats bomb hundreds of thousands of people. Innocent people that didn't do anything. Hardly any of them were nasty Hamasers that deserve to die. I would argue most of Hamas are decent people, actually. They're just in a fucked situation against their will. Who has all the cards here, man? Who has all the power? The United States. And Israel is just their little fucking launching pad for evil over there. So the United States is calling all the shots, funding billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of the latest and greatest in weapons technology to be used on just random people, man. Just innocent people who are trying to live their lives, you know. They just want to go out, learn things, have a hobby, have a little fun, spend time with their family and friends, eat good food, drink clean water, be healthy and happy, not hurt a fly, man. Just reasonable, decent people. And you want to take the nastiest things we have ever come up with in terms of war and just abuse them with it. It's the most disgusting fucking thing I can think of. In a sense, it is like worse than World War II Nazi concentration camp shit. Our technology is better now. We can be even more cruel than ever. You know? It's really fucking disturbing. And that's what's happening over there. And still happening. The ceasefire, it just kind of nullified the artillery droppings. There's still people getting shot, and there's still a ton of aftermath from what's happened. A lot of people with injured limbs, and they are getting sick too, and they can't get the medical attention they need. They're dropping dead all the time. Like, the ramifications of this don't just end when a so-called ceasefire happens. No, it slowly fades. You're going to have a lot of deaths slowly happening after the fact. And that's what you're seeing. So, God, so much fucking damage has been done. I really wish I had Dr. Manhattan powers, dude. I would just fucking rise up and slowly torture and smite all the evil leaders, make examples out of them, and then take all the IDF cocksuckers that caused all this trouble, imprison their asses, and force them into slave labor so they can rebuild what's left of Gaza. That's what I would do. If I had the power. But I don't. I'm just some asshole. The people with the power are monsters. And if they got wind of somebody like me saying this kind of shit, they would try to dox me, ruin my life, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's terrible. Like, if you're like a celebrity with a little bit of power, because you got money and fame and whatnot, you can speak up. But if you do, they will try to silence you. They will try to blacklist you. They'll try to manipulate you. They'll even try to bribe you, maybe. You know, hey, how about you stop being a good human being and join us, the evil ones? We'll pay you. But only if you shut the fuck up and stop acting like this. Like, isn't that horrible? Yeah, there's no freedom of speech, man. I think you IDF guys bombing children all day is evil and wrong. You can't say that everywhere, apparently. If you do, it could be the end of your life. Whether they kill you on the spot or sneakily try to cut your balls off financially through society, you know? All of a sudden you find it harder to get a job, harder to get into schools, you know? Like your family name has been tarnished, you know? They're doing everything they can to prevent you from moving up in the world and truly living. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's totally true. It's scary. You can't fully express yourself. Good thing I'm a nobody. Nobody knows what I look like. My channel is super small. So I could probably get away with saying things like, I hope all the billionaires get, Luigi. I can probably get away with that. But, if my channel was like a lot bigger and I said it, like if I was like Hassan or Markiplier, I'd get endless fucking creeps and weirdos attacking me and stuff. Yeah, it would be really bad. People hacking in, finding out where I live in real life, and then confronting me. Yikes. That's what would happen. And you have to have a lot of money and big security to stay away from all the wackadoodles, That's what sucks. Our society is filled with millions of a-holes like that. Very angry, shitty, stupid fucking people that take things really fucking personally. You say something to them on the internet, they don't just shrug it off or act, oh, it's probably just some dumb kid, I don't care. No, they want to find you in real life and kill you. Find a way to fuck up your life real good. How dare you say that to me? So many guys are like that. Motherfucker, how dare you speak to me like that? You are my greatest enemy now. It's like, Jesus, you're a fucking loser. Goddamn, you're a fucking loser. Like, I recently uploaded a few videos where I addressed some fucking idiots that pissed me off. And guess what? Fast forward to right now, I don't remember what they look like, their names. I can barely even remember the arguments that we were having. I don't give a shit. I was just responding for fun, because, every once in a while it's fun. But don't get sucked into that shit, man. You might end up as toxic and brainless as those dumb fucks that you're talking to. You know how the old saying goes, don't argue with stupid because you'll lose. They'll beat you with experience because they're stupid all the time. yeah, that's kind of a true saying. So yeah, don't fuck around too long. Say your piece and then fuck off. I was being rather charitable, if you ask me, for even taking the time to respond to these cucks. I mean, I'm too good for that. What was I thinking? But it was kind of fun. But, like I said, I don't even fucking remember what we were talking about, what they were upset about. Something about Elden Ring. And skill. And then there was this one idiot, and then there was this other idiot, and then there was this other idiot, and then it was just idiot after idiot. And I was like, alright, I'm done. Oh yeah, that's right, I remember. Shit started getting weird. That's why I was like, okay, that's enough of this. Yeah, that's right. There was a guy, yeah, that's right. Tim Henson's signature strings video. That's the one that really fucking weirded me out. Yeah, it wasn't about a game. This one was about strings. Yeah. Tim Henson's signature strings got launched. And they're alright. But I was commenting how I don't really prefer Ernie Ball strings over D'Addario. They're a little too slippery for me. And I also pointed out how the 9.5 gauge string has been around for like a year, 2 years, something like that. So it's not really anything new. But I guess Tim Henson's capitalizing on the fact that Ernie Ball hasn't released that gauge yet. So he's doing that whole thing. So good for him. But I don't think the strings are anything special, just saying. And some fanboys got real mad at me because Tim Henson has a bunch of fucking clowns for fans, unfortunately. and they took that criticism as like me attacking the guy, and I was just like, whatever, dude. He's a really good guitarist. I don't think he's much of a singer or songwriter. But yeah, he plays like 8 hours a day and he's obsessed with his style. So yeah, he's good. But it's not my kind of music. I don't really care for the guy that very much. Just saying. And I don't like the way his guitars look. He has like an Ibanez signature that's black and gold, which is kind of cool looking, I'm not going to lie. But I still don't like the Ibanez RG look. I'm not a fan of that. I have a Schecter that's kind of shaped like that, but it's more Stratocaster-y looking. That I like a lot more. So, anyway, uh, yeah, some people were just like, yeah, you just wish you were as good as him, you know? And I was like, dude, I swear to God, you run into this problem all the time, where if you criticize any factor of a guy or an artist in any way whatsoever, even if it's constructive, even if it's reasonable, you know, nah, they'll attack you. So they got mad at me for that, and I was just like, whatever, y'all are dumb. But then some guy responded to me and said, oh boy, you're gonna piss off all the trans lovers by not liking Tim Henson. And it's just like, when did I say I hated Tim Henson? What the fuck? I'm just saying these strings aren't my cup of tea. That's all. What the fuck, guys? Now you're saying that I hate trans people or something? What's going on? And it's because Tim Henson looks like a fucking girl. So there's these weirdos out there who make these anti-trans. He's got long hair. He's got a pretty face. You know, he looks like at first glance he could be a woman. He's very feminine, twink looking. You know, like it's just true. Like he doesn't have any like facial hair. Right? He doesn't look like he's got a 4 or 5 o'clock shadow. Like me, if I shave and then you see my face like a few hours later, it's already growing back. You can see it. Like this kid is clean shaven. You know, he looks like a girl sometimes. Whatever, that's fine. Sometimes I look you know. Yeah, I totally looked like a girl from the back before when I had long hair and shit. Yeah. Yeah, that happened a few times. Yeah, I had like a Hanson thing going on. What the fuck? So anyway, it's not a big deal, but yeah, there's these weirdos out there saying shit like, I don't want to be associated with anti-trans hate. Fuck you for saying that. This is weird, man. I'm out of here. So I just stopped talking to those weirdos, man. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Why you gotta make it weird? I was just saying I don't really care for these strings. They're not for me. That's all I was saying. That's all I was fucking saying. And then the fanboys attacked me, and then the haters were just like, yeah, you're one of us. You hate the trans people. Like, dude, no, I'm not like you at all. You're actually the worst fucking person here. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. God damn. That's what I get for giving a reasonable criticism. My fucking goodness. But yeah, I don't remember their YouTube pictures, their screen names, all the arguments they were making. I don't really remember because I don't care, and I think that's healthy. Don't obsess. Don't hate like certain people, like so much over something so stupid. You know what I mean? Like some dudes are real hotheads, dude. They can't let it go. If somebody offends them, it's like they're on a mission now to kill that person. Wow. That shit is nuts. Don't let hate consume you like that. Get you in these revenge cycle spirals. Don't buy into that shit. Oh my god, I'm so excited, guys. I got all the pedals coming. All of the pedals are coming this month. It wasn't cheap. It was kind of fucking expensive. But I made a lot of money over Christmas, so I figured I'll treat myself. Why not? So these pedals are going to be so cool, dude. I'm going to have such a badass setup on this Katana Artist. Oh my god, it's going to be sick. It's going to be fucking sick, dude. Because I got a really unique pedal setup here. Very unique. Nobody has a sound like this. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, man. To come up with a unique tone. that pretty much only you have, and other people might have a similar sound, but this is special and unique to me, and that's what I'm going for here. And I think I'm gonna nail it, dude. I think I'm gonna fucking nail it. I think I'm gonna pull this off. I'm fucking excited, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking excited. This is gonna be really cool. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh my god. I just came up with a new idea for the setup. Oh my god. An even cooler idea I just came up with. Dude, I am so hyped. Dude, I am so fucking hyped for this. This is gonna sound so cool. I'm gonna get so many wacky fucking tones out of this shit. Dude, I'm so excited. Oh man. It'll be the ultimate guitar setup. I don't think I could add any more sounds to this thing. Alright, this is what it's gonna be. Noise gate suppressor, compressor, boost, overdrive, distortion, fuzz, delay, chorus, reverb, synthesizer, and then acoustic pedal. That's what it is. What more could I add in? There's the metal zone if I really want that kind of like crazy metal sound. But I got the distortion pedal. That's pretty much close enough, and I can always swap it in if I really wanted it. But I don't think I will. It's good enough. Or you can use the overdrive and distortion combined with a little bit low end fuzz, and it kind of replicates what the Bad Monkey can do or the metal zone. So this covers everything. I swear to God. Reverb, I got all those reverb tones. The chorus, got that going on. I don't have a flanger or a phaser on here, but I got that on my Hendrix setup on the other side of the room on this other amp on the Next Tone Special. So I figured that would be more suitable over there because, you know, Hendrix, it's iconic, you know. I gotta have the Hendrix setup kind of be its standalone thing. So, yeah, I have that shit over there. And the octave pedal, too, because apparently Hendrix used the octave pedal a good bit towards his, like, final 3 years of life. So I got it. And it's pretty cool. The octave pedal is sweet because even if you don't like the sounds that it makes, the kind of weird sounds that you can adjust to, you can dial in just straight up distortion. So yeah, and I got a fuzz pedal with it, so you combine the fuzz and distortion to create some pretty cool tones. And then I got a wah pedal with it, which is pretty sick. Yeah, man, this is great. I'm excited. I think this is gonna be pretty fucking dope. Yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty crazy cool. I'm excited. This is fucking sick, dude. This is fucking so cool. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh man, this is gonna be fucking great. Oh my god. The ultimate setup. Whew. I'm glad I got it too because a lot of these products are rare and hard to run into. Some of these pedals that I got. I literally have some pedals where if I were to search right now, I'd probably find nothing. And if I did, maybe there'd be one or two listings that are like, this pedal is now $500. It's so rare. Like, fuck. I was looking at a Kurt Cobain pedal that was used for Come As You Are, As You... That song. That fucking pedal's like $400, dude. I don't like Nirvana or that song enough to get it. And it's just kind of a fuzz pedal. Sort of. But... And I already got something that's close enough, so, you know. Like, that's something you gotta understand when it comes to guitar tones. Don't try to just copy your favorite artists completely 100%. Never get into that mindset. You'll never 100% replicate them. Only they can do that, because they are them. That's them. That's their thing. It's not yours. So you can come close, but you'll never truly be them. So if you're an artist and you're inspired by another artist and you want to do something similar to them, go for it. But don't ever try to 100% copy, steal their shit. Don't do that. You'll never get it right. It'll never feel right. No, don't do that. Copy them to a degree, but then add in, yourself. Part of you. What makes you, you. Add that in. That's what you gotta do, man. And that's what the voice actor for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was saying. Barrett's voice actor, he said that you gotta be faithful to the character that you're portraying, but the other half of the equation is you gotta bring something of your own to the table. You gotta make it yours. Boom, that's how you do it, dude. That's how art advances. It takes about half of what's already laid out in front of us, and we create something new from that. This is how art works. Everything's kind of inspired off of things from before. That's why it's annoying when motherfuckers are like, you're just copying this or ripping off that. And it's like, everything's copying something to a degree, motherfucker. Like, there just has to be enough positive changes from that thing to make it appreciable. Is that a word? Appreciable? Something we can appreciate. Anyway, it's 11 in the morning. I gotta get going here in a bit. Maybe I'll do another video in a sec. After I do some chores, take a break and get some lunch or something. I made these calzones, dudes. Calzones. This is the recipe. I think I even fucking memorized it. It's 4 cups of flour. Right? 4 cups of flour. It's 4 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2/3 a cup of oil, olive oil, a dash of cornmeal, just for, to make it look a little yellowed up and whatnot. Have that kind of texture to it when you eat it. You don't need a lot, just a little, just to be noticeable. Put like 1/8 of a cup in, maybe a little more. It doesn't matter really. That part doesn't matter that much. Just put a dash of that in there. Then you could put a little oregano and some maybe Italian herb spices just to spice it up a tiny bit. A little bit of flavor. Don't put too much. You want the dough to be able to mix in well. Then you get your water amount, which was 1.25 cups. I doubled everything up, so that would be 2.5 cups of water. And you get it to a lukewarm temperature, like 115 degrees, a little hotter than room temperature, Then you get your glass measuring cup filled with water. You get it to that temp. Then you pour your yeast in. And you basically want a little over a teaspoon of yeast, but we're doubling everything, so it's like 2 teaspoons of yeast is what I do. But make it overflowing, like a big fucking hunkin', oh man, like try to get that spoon as full, like overflowing as possible, and dump it in twice. Do it like that. That's what I did. A little extra helps. And then stir that shit into the water. Then you'll start to see it fizzing and bubbling up on the top. That means you're doing it right. The yeast is becoming activated. You pour that shit into the center of your mixing bowl with all the flour ingredients in there, and you stir that shit up. And you turn it into a big dough ball. And then you coat the inner sides of the bowl with olive oil. And then you take that dough ball and then you wrap it up with clear cellophane wrap, And then you put the bowl of dough in a dark environment that is somewhat warm. Find a place like that, like a closet, I don't know. You could put it inside of a bus tub and put something over the top to put it in the dark, and then, I don't know, put like a heat lamp or a light over the top, and that'll work. Now the dough is going to rise in the darkness for about 30 minutes. It's done. Take it out. Put it in the fridge or whatever. Leave it out. Who cares? Now you can start rolling pizza doughs, calzones, And you can cook your ingredients, your pepperonis, sausages, whatever the fuck you're gonna put in there, chicken, I don't know. And people do all kinds of weird shit with pizza. Pineapple, what the fuck, anchovies, whatever. Whatever ingredients you want. Make your calzone, make your pizza, throw it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. That's how long it takes for me, because I make big ass ones. It's probably a little smaller, shorter, I mean, for different recipes. But yeah, that's how it goes, basically. And that's what I did, and it was like the best pizza I've ever had. It probably doesn't top something you could get out of New York or maybe Georgia, but here in Texas, pizza sucks, dude. And my pizza that I made is the best pizza in Texas, straight up.